Hello, everyone out there. You're now listening to Anye
And Dominique.
on Black Love Radio, a part of Glasshouse, part of the Howard University Radio Network.
Where black love is black
Black
power. Okay, so we got a huge topic today. It's going to take up the whole show because it needs to be talked about. We're going to talk about this country's flawed education system.
So, all in New Jersey, and they're all different. You know what I mean? Like, even the white school systems are different. As far as like curriculum, as far as like teachers, support, and everything.
Right. But I think that's like a problem with the school system. Not that, white people and black people are separated, supposedly, or they're separated by money. But it's like they'll put children in accelerated classes and they'll make them feel like they're better than everyone else when that's just not the case.
Right.
So how my parents taught me is like, yes, you're in these classes, but at the same time, you're not better than anybody else.
Right.
And I just feel like the school systems, they need to fix that because, come on, I don't like just because my friend reads slower than me does not mean that I'm better than him or her. Like, I never been to like a predominantly white school, obviously, because I'm at Howard now. So what was really going on like in 8th through 12th grade?
I would just say, like, not all white people, but some of them are just very, like, I wouldn't say ignorant, but ignorant. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they just don't, like, they just ask you the wrong questions in the wrong ways. You know what I mean? Like, why is your hair like this? Or why do you do this? Or why do you say things like this or this way? It's just like, because I have culture, you know what I mean? Like, my culture is different from yours. Like, I have different values and, things than you do. But, I actually had this one white guy, my senior year, he like had a little crush on me, but he actually told me like, yeah, I can never bring you home because like my parents won't let me date black girls, and I'm just like, wow, it's 2012, I graduated 2012, hey y'all, but it's just like, wow, I can't come home with you because your mom said you can't date black women, and it's just like, I had to look at him like, well, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, are you going to stand up for what you really want? Or are you just going to say, okay, I can't date black women because my mom says so? And it's just like, when does it come a point where you step outside of what your parents tell you? You know what I mean? Where you have the ability to think for yourself and not just take what they tell you is right or wrong. You know what I mean? But my favorite class actually in high school was African American Studies, and it was like the only It was the only African American Studies course we had in our school, and like I was so bummed that I waited till my senior year to take it. But Professor Chamberlain, well, Mr. Chamberlain, but it's really, I feel like he's a professor for real. But he was just like so intelligent, and he just used to point out things like, while we're in class or whatever, the phone would ring constantly. Like, the phone would probably ring 4 or 5 times. And he always said, like, they will wait until the main office will just wait until his class period, until African American Studies to call into his classroom. And, like, he had a student write down each time, like, they call. And throughout that semester, it was probably like 50 times they called.
Wow.
Like,
and this happened in no other classes?
No, he taught U.S. History 1, U.S. History 2, and I think AP U.S. History or something like that. And he said they never called or interrupted those classes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's so crazy, because I had a class like that in high school, too. I had this great guy, I forgot his name, but he taught me in 10th grade, and we did sociology, and we did world history, and he laid it down. Like, he told us, that I feel like that was the only class where I felt like nobody was lying to me, because so much in, like, 2nd through 7th grade where you learning about, our history, quote unquote, where, basically it's just a slew of Europeans conquering lands, and then we're supposed to give, like, homage to them. Exactly. But then when I got to this class, it was like, actually, that's not what happened. So he introduced me to civil rights leaders other than Martin Luther King and Stokely Carmichael. He introduced us to, what really happened in Africa and how we actually got over here and what actually happened when we got over here. Right. He introduced us to everything, and I just feel like there was only one class. Right. And I was in a school where it was like middle class, but it was still average. So just think about you know, people in lower incomes places where they don't even learn this stuff. And it's our people who's not learning about our history. And like with the lies that they teach us, because I do call them lies, like
Yes.
the main one that comes to
lies.
mind is like Christopher Columbus discovering America. First of all, he didn't even come.
Hello.
He did not even come here, the America that we know of.
Right.
He came to like the islands or something, and then when he got there was actually already people there. But the way that I learned it was that, you know that song some 1492 Christopher Columbus
Sailed
came.
the ocean blue or something like
Sailed
that.
the ocean
Yeah.
blue, like
I don't remember the rest.
I don't remember the
just
rest
tried
because
to
it was all
erase it out
lies.
of
You
my
don't even
mind.
really need to remember. And it was just I was just like, bruh. And then when I found out, I was like, okay, he didn't actually discover America. And then when you find out that lie, it's like, okay, how much else were they lying to you?
If you're gonna lie about the very first event, you know, the very first thing, like as soon as we open up our history books, you know, the first thing they talk about is Christopher Columbus.
Yes.
Maybe Great Britain. Maybe. You know what I mean? Like McGraw just focuses on European influence.
Yes.
And then if they do talk about like black people or like our history, it's only our history in America.
Yeah.
And then
So we're gonna wrap it up right quick, and I would just like to thank y'all for listening to Black Love Radio, and I'm Dominique.
This is Anya.
And we are Black Love Radio on Glasshouse Radio, part of the Howard University Radio Network, where Black Love is Black Power.